Okay, secondary clutch. Down, have a look down here. Oh, look, T30. There's two of these on this side. I already started them out. One little screw, and there's one down here. A little tough to get at. That's all right. And then it still won't come out because there's a screw down back there. So the next thing to come off is the hood to be able to get that screw back there. And as usual, we'll before we take the hood off, got to take the snorkel and loosen this clamp. And then we'll see what that'll be. It's not going to move back. This piece here actually moves out, but I just want to make it nice and loose. Okay, the next fasteners, I put that in there. T25. Take these out. And then the side of the hood. The opposite side. And the next thing here is, look at that, how easy that is to come out. And then,
no, and then.
Don't drop those. You don't have to take the tack out or the vents. Okay. Next thing are the plugs. And then,
No, and then.
I think that's about it. We can close this and grab it and pull it. Remember that this clamp, right, has to be loose. And this should just come off. Da, 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 da. I already took the top porthole cover off. So this, the muffler's in the way. We can't get this in there to drive the shaft out. What we'll do next is remove the muffler. Come on, baby. Here we go. Okay. This is a Bombardier part number. I don't know what part number it is, but this is bar none the best spring tool I've ever used, ever. Other than somebody copying this, and still, the copied ones I've seen, this is super hard. The other ones I've seen these things bend. But not this sucker. This is great. I want one more back there. We'll reserve a lot of oil on that. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, the next thing is this 10mm bolt with the spring that we're going to remove. And I think this here can unplug. And this, let's see, right there, Now we should be able to figure out how to wiggle that out of there. Now we have the muffler moved up enough, that'll fit in perfectly. We have the brake handle on, so we can loosen this off, and that is a 15. Here we go. So here's our top gear retaining tool. I'll just give it a couple of little, oh yeah, that's about right. There's some people who won't use this and they'll use a 1/2 inch extension and drive that out. Just remember, the gear has a spacer behind it. If that spacer drops down into the chain case, you probably won't hear it when you drive that shaft out. If you put the shaft back in and that spacer is at the bottom of the chain case, the sled won't make it 150 feet and it'll blow the bottom of the chain case out. I have pictures. Remember I talked about the fastener on this side? Well, it's a 10 mil nut. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's way down in there. That's all right. We'll loosen it off and hopefully we won't lose it. Yay! Look at that. Beautiful. And then we have to take the 13 millimeter nut off of the bearing retaining clip there. And I got a 1/2 inch ratchet wrench to fit on it. And this is bar none the easiest I've ever got at one other than the XM chassis. Okay, now I should be able to just tap this out. Yoo-hoo! Okay, I should be able to leave that there and not drop. Soft jaws. This is my favorite. I like this tool the best for the reason, simple reason of the helix bushing, right? When you go to slide the helix, you know, it's this way, but you know what I'm saying. The transition from here to the fixed shaft is the best transition. All right, that's good there. All right, now we have to compress the helix. We just have to push the helix in a little bit just to take the tension off from between the pulleys. So we'll go all the way in. So we'll send her out of the way and then watch the gap here. There, that's pretty good. These here are Nord locks. I don't know why they put them in there, but I got kind of an idea, probably from people changing helixes maybe under warranty and then not torquing the fasteners and the fasteners coming loose. And then you wreck the clutch. Helix, everything. My favorite's map gas. And I count with map gas for about count of 10. Holy. Oh, there we go. I'm wedging my body against the fins to help hold the clutch. Oh. Come on. Oh, there we go. Nope, more heat. You can just feel it. Oh, I'll edit that out. Come on. There we go. Now we can take the helix out. And remember, we have to take that white swivel washer out. There it goes. Right? See how it's got this balance notch here? You can put it in and just let the clutch kind of hang, kind of be wedged in there. And you'll be able to torque this now. No problem. So remember, you have to take the white swivel washer out of the helix, put it in the new helix, put the spring in. For some reason, the clutch swivel washer came out. You know what? We'll put it back in the clutch. This is where this came out of, and I don't know why it come out. Normally they don't come out. They just stay in there fairly tight. Now remember, there's the arrow. The arrow lines up with the rollers. So there's rollers at 180 degrees of each other. There's an arrow on the helix. Ideally it lines up with the arrow on the sheave. So then you're going, this is the roller track, right? With the reverse notch here. This is not a track. That is a relief for the cross member that's inside the clutch. So you want to make sure the swivel washer's in. Swivel washer. Oh, there it is. Arrow. There we go. There's the roller. Here's the roller track. The arrow is right here on the helix, and the arrow is here on the sheave. And then we're going to compress this. Sometimes people forget to put this white washer back in. And I'll get them to put the belt change tool. And what it does, it opens the clutch up, right? You drop the belt down, you unwind the belt change tool back, and you pull that washer back. And if you could see yellow, or rather, you're looking for white in there, and that's the plastic. If you see a color other than white, then the spring is metal to metal, and the back shifting will be awful. It just won't be calibrated right, and it'll run terrible. Okay, so now you have arrow, arrow, and there's a cast arrow on the back side too. So we have the sheave back, and what we're going to see is the helix is going to go in far enough that it's going to open the sheave. And we don't need it to go much, just a 1/4 inch. There we go. Now we're just going to line up the holes. I pre-dipped the fasteners with blue Loctite already. And you can just pull the sheave back a little bit to be able to get these in. And I didn't clean the old Loctite off, so they're just kind of cranky to put in the little bit of old Loctite. And I'll start them with the ratchet just to get them going. I already already have the torque wrench set to 24 pounds. And make sure you torque them. If you don't torque these, there's a 99% chance they're going to come loose. The arrow can be 12 o'clock to 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It can be off a little bit. But the arrow cannot be 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Then it's in the wrong track, which sometimes can happen when you get distracted. Beauty. So we just have to, well, we'll take the brake off here. Sometimes you have to put a screwdriver just sitting on the gear. What you're doing is putting tension on the gear, pushing it that way. So now when you're going to move this on, the shaft onto the spine of the gear, you can feel the teeth line up. They're lined up now, but she won't go in. Normally I don't need a second pair of hands, but I don't know why this one was pretty cranky to get in. So I had to hold the gear in on that side and then hold it here and get the cameraman and mic just to give it a little love tap to start it. So if you can come on over here and look in here, Mike. Okay, this plate kind of flexes a little bit. Now, sometimes people have a problem putting that in, and what's happening is as you're banging the clutch in, the bearing's hitting this tower and bending it in. So I could put my hands right here like this, hold it, and look at that. I can pull the tower back a bit to flex it. I can hold it there, and it makes it easier. See? So I'm flexing it. So you have to keep tension on that tower this way, and this will go in very easily. Okay, it's right flush. And we can put our clamp in now. Jed, clamp it. All right. I guess while we're here on this side, we could put this on now. There's a little trick about this. People put this on backwards. And if you look inside here, you can see this is machined out. There's some threads here. The threads have to be out, or rather, if the clamp opening's at 9 o'clock position, that the bolt head is up, and you will be putting it on right. If you put it on backwards, right, whatever, then you won't be able to get the belt to have the proper deflection. It will always be really tight and you won't be able to adjust it. So, clamp opening 9 o'clock, socket cap screw head at the top. There we go. There we go, beauty. Okay, this is nice, it stays in there. It fits. I think I found it better if I left this screw out. We'll just put that there for now. And we mounted this in. It's to get this tab in here. because I tried with that screw in first, and this tab I had a difficult time getting in. So took it right out, and we're going to put this in first and see how that works. There we go. These kind of scare me a little bit because I would not want one of these screws to fall out and go around in the clutches. Oh yeah, that was way easier. Way easier to put those two in first before you put this in. I just thought about trying it the other way. Nope. This is super easy. I know we're kind of bouncing around left to right on the sled, but oh well. See the recess here of the shaft versus the gear? If that gear is flush with that top shaft, then that spacer is in the bottom of the case. I can't push that gear in. The spacer never fell down. It is behind that top gear. Oh yeah, just like that. So put the brake back on so you can put the top gear in and torque it, because you will move the sled ahead. So the torque wrench is set at 36 pounds. Some people get pissy about having extension. All right. Now we can just put the porthole plug back in. Okay. And then there we go. There, look at that. I think it was this long one here. Yoo-hoo! I probably could have put it there better yet. I'm a lefty. There we go. Okay, we're gonna put the hood on, and all you gotta do is just lean your gut into it. There is these latches here, both sides, and then the latch is up at the front, but we can make sure these plugs are up, and then we can just give it a little push, like that. And this slid in, that's in. And the first thing you do when you get the hood on, before anything else, so you never forget, is that, like I've done 4 or 5 times on my own sled. Yeah, that sucker's in there. Do. Oh yeah, that's on. Look at that. Beauty. And before we put these 2 fasteners in, we'll connect the harness back up. Click. That one there. Beauty. So we can push it up to match. Get that one started. Push it up to get this started. Put a little tension on it so it's nice and easy and you don't wear the holes on the hood. These 2 are lined up perfect. You can put them right in. We'll latch these in first and then clip those down. Look at that, solid. Okay, we're going to put the belt on and get very close to flexion without even starting the sled. So we can leave this loose here now. And we'll push the helix in. That's tight, the bolt back there is tight, everything. So now, clutch bolt, all the fasteners are tight, the clutch bolts are, the pivot bolts are tight. Rotation. Okay, take this out to about here, and then watch. People think that you need to have the cord flush with the top of the secondary. That's not actually the completion of the belt deflection procedure. In the end, the procedure is having a flat bar and then push for like 24 pounds on that for like 1 inch and 1/8. But we're not going to do that. Look how tight that is. If you could start this, it's going to want to walk away. So we'll just dial in a little bit of deflection. Look at that. There we go. A little bit more. And who cares about that? This is what you want right here, right? This is what, look at that. Right about there. Maybe just a wee bit more. And it's going to show a higher belt position here than over here because there's a bushing in the back. And in the end, this fixed sheave, that back sheave there, deflects this way. So you always have a major side and a minor side. And the minor side, the belt's always going to ride higher. So I just like to do this. That looks pretty close. Maybe, see, look, just that little bit I turned. Look how much it deflected. So now I can do this, right? Maybe back off a little bit there. Now, when we go to start this up and the engine's idling, if the track's off the ground, the engine's turning, but it's a heavy track, right? It's a 154 3-inch, and then there's heavier tracks. It's hard to, it's not like a trail sled where this thing will turn easily because it's only a 121 with a 1.25 inch, 1.75 track, but so much meat on the track that it's hard to turn. So when the engine's idling, it looks like it just wants to turn. So you can maybe go like that, right, when the engine's idling, but this is what we'll do. Watch. Look at that. Quarter turn. That's going to be about right. Now, back it off. That's going to stay. And you can turn this in now. Oop. Right, I'm just snugging it up. I can snug it up a little bit more and watch the deflection. That's pretty good. That is where I would start for now. And then we can tighten the clamp up. And that's about it. There you go. Doesn't have to be too tight. And remember, right? Major side, minor side. The belt always rides higher in the secondary on the minor side, like where the tension is. And we're about ready to start this bad boy up, just to see what it sounds like, and we'll check the engagement speed. Contact. That helped. Take the brake off. And that's on concrete. Okay, that's it for this video on the iBackshift clutch kit for the Skidoo 850 factory turbo. And I hope you enjoy your iBackshift clutch kit. Thank you. Okay.